in that there's not one quarterback that wears an Eagles jersey on this list of 40.
Of 40.
40. So he's got multiple quarterbacks from these New Orleans Saints are on this list. Now, did you see, speaking of football, I noticed this over the weekend. Chris Sims, blue checkmark guy, put out his top 40 quarterbacks list.
Why 40?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'll tell you why. So he can justify putting a starter below somebody else, or justify looking at how bad somebody is at 27, 28, because he's closer to 35 or 36 than he is, 18. I guarantee you it's a deliberate number to open up more fodder, if you will.
Yeah, to get more conversation. Well, he's got something that gives him conversation right out of the chute, in that there's not one quarterback that wears an Eagles jersey on this list of 40.
Of 40.
40. So he's got multiple quarterbacks from these New Orleans Saints are on this list.
Look, I don't.
Case Keenum is on this list.
See, again, like the secret is out, Harry. The secret is out. If you are with PFF, if you are with ESPN, if you are with any of these, Cowherd on Fox, and you do something that's either pro or anti-Philadelphia, you will get a ton of interaction. In fact, we even talked about this. Now, he's on locally here, I believe, on the Fox Sports radio channel. But for a while, Cowherd would circumvent not being on in Philadelphia by talking about Philadelphia, just so he could get local hosts playing his clips and talking about him on the air. It's what I used to do when I went home and texted you, just to make sure that my text got on the air.
And so then your name and your Twitter handle would always be mentioned by me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's genius.
Now, I have to say, let's start. Normally we would start at the top here, but let's just start at the bottom and look at 40 and move up, because really we only have Jalen Hurts. That's right. I mean, we're not comparing
Nick Mullins
Flacco or
Yeah.
I'd rather do a Matt Mullen comparison if that's the case.
Matt Mullen should be on this list ahead of Case Keenum too.
And look, it's guys in sports media who are good golfers. Mullen is right up there. He's a lefty too.
All right, number 40 is Case Keenum.
No.
Now, who is he with? Denver?
Hold on, we got a bunch of super chats to get to as well. Yes.
Okay.
But look, it's cooked. It's cooked.
Well, he might know. Is he with Cleveland?
Oh, I thought
he might be with Cleveland. Yeah, because there's two Denver quarterbacks already on the list, and then there's Baker Mayfield. It's the same color as Baker Mayfield. It's that Browns orange, not the Bengals orange or the Denver orange.
Case Keenum backup better than Jalen Hurts.
Backup.
Okay.
Yep. Justin Fields. Well, yeah, of course I would too. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, who hasn't taken a snap yet.
No, it's ridiculous. And look, he's not playing on a team that necessarily is just plug and play for a quarterback. Now, there's some talent around him, but it's not a super talented wide receiving core. It's not like he has an amazing blanket to throw to coming out of the tight end position. They're good, but they're not amazing to where you can even say if Fields struggles for a week or two, everybody around him is going to pick him up. He's also playing in Chicago, which we know historically. Look,
a lot of quarterbacks have died there.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. And thanks to Eric Rogers. Appreciate that. Thank you to Adams Exploits for the super sticker. And look at this, the Penguin AZ. The middle and Teddy, the middle and Teddy, the middle and Terry all around. Appreciate
he meant to
that
say
too.
Teddy at the end there too.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe it was Terry.
Terry?
Yeah. The best one I saw when I put out the tweet of Teddy was, yep, it's Teddy. Ready with the 1-2. Remember that from Rex and Effects?
Yes.
Now that's all I think about. All right. So that's 39. Who's 38?
38 is Trey Lance in San Francisco, who has yet to take a snap.
And there are even more. Look, I understand Fields. The only thing that really was a concern was something that I think was more narrative driven towards the draft about him dealing with epilepsy, which clearly was not a problem, right?
Yeah.
For his career in college. That I think you can make somewhat of an argument like, all right, this kid's expected to play well. He had a high level. Trey Lance comes in with way more question marks about what he can do year one. And what? Because he's playing for Shanahan, I'm expected to believe that he's already going to be better than Hurts, who has at least, 6-7 games under his belt?
Well, yeah, Lance is 38th, and Jimmy Garoppolo's all the way up at 21 for the 49ers.
I think we could name more quarterbacks than 20 better than Garoppolo, but let's see.
Well, here's another one. This one's really absurd.
Perplexing.
Kellen Mond is the next quarterback from formerly of Texas A&M.
Yes.
I believe he's with the Vikings, and he's a backup with the Vikings. Has yet to take a snap. How can you put him ahead of Hurts? Right. And he's a backup. Cousins is the starter.
I don't understand. I just don't get what he's looking at. And it sounds to me, look, first off, this list is garbage, right? And he's garbage as well. Like I can't stand. I'd rather look at Kevin Huerter and stare at Kevin Herter's face for 2 hours, which is a difficult sight. And I understand, like, I'm not a Adonis of beauty by any means, but Kevin Huerter is a tough watch, right? Just looking at him.
Yes.
Chris Sims is even uglier.
I like Phil Sims. I'm a fan of Phil Sims.
Huge fan of Phil Sims.
Yes.
But look, that's probably going to happen with me. Look, I like that Eitan guy, but his son, that's why I don't want him working in my business.
Right. No, you don't want him anywhere near this business.
No. Let him be, let him be something else. Let him be.
But the interesting thing here is that the Eagles quarterback of record right now is not even on the top 40 list, but their former quarterback is number 18.
We are in good shape. So I think looking at this, we have to take everything with a grain of salt. And then after hearing what I heard about who's on this list ahead of Jalen Hurts, it's just hard to take seriously because there is still so much unknown about Hurts. So it's really unfair to Jalen Hurts more so than anybody else to say, okay, we definitively know who he is after that small sample size. And there's also, I think, just to tag that, Harry, the same thing to say about, look, Fields, Lance, these guys could easily step in and go through a stretch of 4 or 5 games and struggle and be right back to where Hurts is. So why do they get a benefit?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at least the sample size, the brief sample size that you have that included some good, some bad, some in between, was at the NFL level. Okay? I mean, Kellen Mond, with all due respect, he might be a nice player someday. He's played at Texas A&M, and he's a backup already, and drafted in the second. Like, how does he get past Jalen Hurts? It's one thing to say, hey, I really like, these guys that were drafted, Trey Lance and Fields, and they're going to be top level studs. Okay, you want to put them ahead without taking a snap? Fine. But Kellen Mond, are you kidding me?
Nah, it's ridiculous.
Then he should be as good as Cousins.
At least, I agree with you. And again, so let's flip this. Let's look at the top 4 guys.
He's got Cousins 16th, though. Wow. He's got him ahead of Wentz.
Well, yeah, okay, so let's...
And Burrow.
Where is Wentz?
18th. Sam Darnold, 19th. Cam Newton is on this list at number 20. He was awful last year. He looked like he didn't even have an arm left.
Yeah, there were times in which it was almost like they were yelling at him on the sidelines, don't throw it deep, don't throw it deep. Okay, so Carson Wentz, first off, Carson Wentz, I guess if you wanted to average everything out from an MVP year that he had before he got hurt to one of the worst seasons we've seen any starting quarterback have in the history of the game last year, the trajectory on it is working in the opposite direction in favor of Wentz, right? It's working against Wentz. So he's started high and is now dropped. And what this individual who created this list is saying is that he is now going to move back up, but pretty significantly, because where he was last year was like last or second to last. Remember, we went through the real numbers of, I forget who it was that went through. Oh, Doug Farrar, right? who went through all the film and went through everything, and without a doubt, Carson Wentz and a combination of Wentz and Hurts were the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Circumstances and other things, yes, and mainly it was Carson Wentz. So that's all I'm saying is that Wentz would have to have a top, think about it, Wentz would have to have a top 10 year in order to go from being like 29th, 30th last year in the NFL, if not worse, to being 18th, as Sims says he will be this year. That's ridiculous. I don't think Carson Wentz is a top 10 quarterback. I think Carson Wentz is going to be somewhere in the middle.
He's got Brady 10th.
Well, I mean, again,
telling he's got Dak Prescott 9th, Stafford 8th, Murray 7th, Lamar 6th, Russell 5, Deshaun Watson, a man without a team.
That's right.
And maybe the Eagles. Yeah, maybe that's your Eagles quarterback, is what Chris Sims is saying. He's number 4.
All right, let me ask you this.